Hello, how is
Game
everyone?
started.
Yes, hello, chat. We'll just get straight into it. As soon as Mr. Redmond is ready, he'll he'll play his move when he's ready. 4 stones today. I'd been the last couple games I did were 2 stones and then 3 stones, and so I'm just gonna sort of ramp up in a sense. I'm going to prevent the common thing with the double approach and just say that I can play against these white stones later. But right corners first. And here, let me see if I can remember some of the double approach openings, because I want to do such a thing. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Then later I could play something like R16, just to fully stabilize the corner, but I'm not worried about it yet. Oh, so chat. Uh, yeah, I think this one I just descend. A little bit I've been looking at mashing together songs. In particular, I've got a couple doing switching vocals. Okay, I think I want to push once and then pincer white's C14 stone. I think. Mm-hmm. And let's do I want a 1 space pincer or a 2 space pincer? Let's do a 2 space low pincer. Yeah, so I've got the first one. I've got Make a Move by Icon for Hire and Bad Apple from Toho, switching vocals. Now, there are some parts with overlapping vocals in both these ones I want to share. Now, I think I should... My inclination is to do a one-space jump and then return here. Maybe get cut. Maybe things get a little bit... If I wanted to go on this side, how would I go about it? Yeah, I'm just going to one-space jump here. And I'll just try to manage, since White's group is weak as well. Yeah, both these mashups have some overlapping vocals, but I'll sing what I can. Somebody make a move. Somebody make a move. Please somebody make a move. We all know what's ever on and on. I continue circling with nothing but my hate in a carousel of agony till slowly I forget and my heart starts vanishing and suddenly I see that I can't break free. I'm slipping through the cracks of a dark eternity with nothing but my pain and the paralyzing agony to tell me who I am, who I was, uncertainty enveloping my mind till I can't break free and test my reality. Check if there's a weak spot, cling to insanity in hopes the world will ease up, trying to make it look like it's all somehow getting better, 'cause I know how to play it pretty good against the measure. Everyone started out a little insane, but we learned pretty quick how to fake it for the game, but some of you never learned to drop the act, so under that skin of yours a heart attack. And maybe it's a dream. Hold on. I might be too distracted to sing here. Oh, did I need something like E18? I'm not sure. I'm going to play E18. Because I know how to play it pretty good against the measure. Everyone started out a little insane, but we learned pretty quick how to fake it for the game, but some of you never learned to drop the act, so under that skin of yours a heart attack, and maybe it's a dream, maybe nothing else is real, but it wouldn't mean a thing if I told you how I feel, so I'm tired of all the pain, all the misery inside, and I wish that I could live feeling nothing but the night. You can tell me what to say, you can tell me where to go, but I doubt that I would care, and my heart would never know if I make another move. Somebody make a move. Please somebody make a move. We all know, and it all would fade to black. Let's see here. I can sack a stone and just live in Gote, though maybe C15 wasn't correct, or maybe I messed up earlier, or maybe, well, it's a bit of a bother, but I've stayed connected, so at least I'm not going to crash out here. I can sack a stone, even if it's not ideal. Because then white settled, so it's a bit sad for black. But oh, also I realized that I forgot that chat I messed up. Whatever. Why did I do that, chat? That was no good. That was no good, chat. It's only half an eye, really. And then I still need to run out. Pain Dio. Oh well. Alright. Well, I'm gonna say that actually, no, it would be a bit of a Is a ko anything? Well, if I just do nothing here and white takes, then I don't like have anything. But if I at least set up the potential for ko, well, then white just takes again. It's the same kind of thing. I'm just going to play g12. And if white's happy with the corner, I'm going to attack the stones on the right side. And if not, I'll figure something out, chat. Okay. I think it's proper here not to go under, but to go d6. The only thing is there's a little bit of looseness or weakness from underneath on the B file and in the place where there's the double knights move that changes directions. So if I want to minimize any sort of splitting attack, I go under and say at least part of the connection here is more solid. I'm going to do that, chat. Then and is something like B10, B9, B8, C9, is anything like that okay? Or do I get into trouble in some manner? Well, let's say I played B9. Now let's look at the closest thing to these two white stones in here. That would be a thing that I'd have to deal with, would be wedging at D11. And that's connected. Then the problem is F12 and F11, and furthermore G13 and H13. I would rather play more towards containment, and I think something around G10 solidifies my connection better, while also it's not like white has a base yet. Maybe some B11 moves at some point could do something, but maybe I have some I can play. Maybe I can play around that. Hmm. And if I had the answers, I'd have written them out so I could tell you what to do and what this thing is about. But all I've ever learned comes second hand, and I dare not preach what I don't understand. You and I, we share the same disease. Cover up, compromise what we grieve. I've let more than my share of revivals die. This isn't pretty, but it's what I am tonight. Will tomorrow ever come? Will I make it through the night? Will there ever be a place for the broken in the light? Am I hurting? Am I sad? Should I stay or should I go? I've forgotten how to tell. Did I ever even know? Can I take another step? I've done everything I can. All the people that I see, I will never understand. If I find a way to change, if I step into the light, then I'll never be the same, and it all will fade to white. Pointing my fingers, the problems still linger. They keep getting bigger, and I hold the trigger. Running with fire, I live like a liar. Please somebody make a move. Somebody make a move. Somebody make a move. Somebody make a move. Somebody, if I make another move, if I take another step, then it all would fall apart. There'd be nothing of me left. If I'm crying in the wind, if I'm crying in the night, will there ever be a way? Will my heart return to white? Can you tell me who you are? Can you tell me where I am? I've forgotten how to see. I've forgotten if I can. If I opened up my eyes, there'd be no more going back, 'cause I'd throw it all away and it all would fade to black. Okay. The shape is flexible. Sabaki-like, perhaps. I want to establish territory and I want to put maybe light pressure on the group while establishing territory. So hypothetically, let's look at G3. What would be my follow-up if I got another move in a row? I'd like to maybe do something like J9 or attacking this structure, this connection seems like maybe it's not completely pointless, but it seems like not really what I want to do here. We can see later, whatever. So, and then, yeah, if white runs out, then I've established my framework a little better, and I can sort of run out, and we can see. So G3's fine, I'm sure. I'm sure it's okay. Okay. Well, it's important to stay connected. Yeah, now here it's a little bit chotto, ne? Um, now let me think. Uh, yeah, that's only one eye in any case. Let's say just jump out and say this stone is no longer that important. I want let me see here. Takes da 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 da. Let's try this Kema. Let's try this Kema. All right. Yeah, yeah. Now, if I end up pushing this up, I need to worry about being split, potentially, but the idea is to have enough strength to connect at least softly, and then I can do stuff against these stones. But White's idea, of course, is to get enough into the center that White can start playing here on the bottom side. So I'll get pushed once, at least. Maybe 2 times, but we'll see. And then yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. If I play g4, it's solid and it sort of leans into the loose connection between the h4 stones and the other stones. So I think g4 is proper. Now, I think I should put something on maybe K3 or L3. Does it threaten anything? Like, it's not especially threatening, but if I want to secure things a little bit closer, maybe... let's play an L3, just keep building my framework. And if I get to attack these later, it'll flow naturally, maybe. Otherwise, my framework gets bigger. Perhaps. Okay, okay. Now, the most reserved move would be O3. That's about as reserved as I would get. Then there are things like O4, N4, M4 that leave me kind of open, honestly. So, no, that seems a little bit... It seems like a bother. It does. I'll maybe go O4. Because the L3 stone at least has threats to connect up to H3. So the L3 stone's a bit hard to attack, so it can be a little bit further away. And I can have fourth line, third line. See, the thing is that I'm not even attacking that much. I'm just building and... or like I'm soft pressuring maybe. And have gotten that much. Okay, now this is a little bit... it's a thing. It's a thing. So, for the stones above, a one-space jump out is a thing that has a certain look to it. Then I'd like to curl around in some fashion or do something that tries to attack ice space or rather tries to limit white's mobility outwards to threaten to destroy the ice space later. Maybe something like F6, E6, getting into... well, it's a bit tricky for me because I'm not that strong, but then the thing is, if I play in that manner, then I have to then I'd rather have to find a way to get these stones out, or to... Yeah, to get those stones out. What do you mean disconnected? Okay. It's a little bit... I think it's plausible. Now, where's the vital point in White's formations here? Now, if I go L7... I think I can more or less keep White contained, but I want to contain them and attack the eye shape at the same time. So what's the best way to go about that? Okay. Now looking at, say, K7, push through, cap. Maybe here, it gets a little bit messy. Well, I think I'm gonna try L7 to try to contain and channel White, and say that suppose White lives here, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to kill against a 9 Dawn. But I think I can make them small enough that this corner is very big. I still have the option to connect with B9 whenever. Which actually, maybe this side was more important. Okay. This looks like a tessigy, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Okay. But now, here, N3, cover, cut, what about K3? Descend here. Da 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 da. In a little bit. I wonder if descending would be a tessigy. To say, yes, I'm connected up. Well, let's play this Hane. Oh, the cut immediately. Well, that's interesting. Okay. What well, the thing is, well, it's wider than a bamboo joint, but I can't really attack it without getting into trouble. So it's like it's not like 100% connected yet, but... Or is it? Yeah, honestly, it is connected, isn't it? Like, not as closely as the bamboo joint, but I don't have the stones around it in order to make disconnecting them actually plausible, because I'd need stones sticking into the middle and go from there. But now, if I descend here first, then do I actually get into trouble after like N4? Maybe I think I saw a similar kind of tactic in my last game, though I didn't find the finishing combo, but a something like N4, M6, N6 being a way to force some moves on the outside for white, and then connecting here, and then I have to either go back with something like B9 or accept that these stones could get cut off. Now, that's only one possibility, isn't it? We could get N4, N5, maybe O3, maybe N6. Well, that would be a little bit choto. But that makes the descending move important, as opposed to some move over here that would not take up a liberty of white down here. Now, suppose hypothetically I went M2, white extends because of course, and I just sort of let me think. I'd have to now N3 would just make things look ugly, and white gets out, with M5 being free, and it's just kind of horrible all around. Descending feels like the right call here. It's the single stone that is weakest, and these they can manage. So somehow they'll manage, and they just okay. All right. This makes going up for white here very useful. White can get out under here if I don't take care of that. So I need to make it so that if white pushes me up like this, I can do something about it. And my initial thought is M8. The idea being that if white pushes me up, I can... Well, let's say white extends here. Dot dot dot. The cross cut. I just connect back up. Da, da, da. Da, da. M8 feels playable. It's a bit loose with this stone sort of sticking into the Kema. Now, what about... Da, da, da. Yeah, I think it's fine, chat. I can't read out the variations all when it's reasonably open like this, but I think M8 is playable. But I should shore things up as soon as I reasonably can. Okay, okay. Well, isn't that interesting? It seems reasonable for white. And N5 seems proper here. Yep, there's that cut. We're going to... we want the free move somewhere, but where? Because B9 first might be critical, but it might not be. One thing that this does, however, is that it... I do wonder... I mean, that's obviously no good. So Like, unless it were actually sacrificable, but no, I don't think it's so I think this is about as well as I could get from the position I had. Now, I could still push here once hypothetically. Hypothetically. However, my concern is that it doesn't accomplish much and like white just connects and this is, yeah, nope. So here would be white was sticking, then this stone would be kind of pointless. Here would be, white can connect, although that leaves this as well. So say white just takes on that. I'd want to, it gets a bit tricky. No, I think B9 first. I can figure anything else out later. Because at least L9 and N7 are Mii in terms of just in terms of getting this stone to, okay. Yeah. That's certainly a move. Now it's pretty fast for white out this far, although it has some potential connection over here. But I'm going to move at the same speed. Match white spacing here. And I don't have any like solid reason for that except a general instinct. And we'll see how well or poorly attuned those instincts are. Okay. My instinct here is to pivot. Hypothetically, if white traded here, and I got something here or whatever, that would be acceptable to me. And so I want to build out this facing my stones that are trying to run away. I think I've avoided making too many. I think I've avoided like blundering this game, though I think that this was I played incorrectly around here, somewhere around move 20. But okay. Well, that's about what I expected. And so this is the response. It's sort of a proper shape to this. Now, that is a little bit interesting. Another push. I think, yes, it's proper to get pushed here. And then this is a... It's not quite connected, but it's almost connected. And then white has a couple things to pay attention to. One is the N and O16 stones, that there's, I don't know how much it is, but there's actually potential for them to get cut off. And so they may have a hard time cutting me off. Then I was gonna say, it's not like these white stones here are alive yet. Now, R16 is a proper response. I do want to do things in the corner. Is it... Maybe not, though, actually. Hold on.
Undo requested.
Hold on.
Undo granted.
That has potential to be trouble if white pushes and cuts. Then my shapes... And then... There's this big gaping hole on the P file, and I think it's just not good. So if I place P16, then what's the situation? White's going into the corner. I can... mess around a bit, but it's a little bit... but the thing is, having this be a solid connection, the bamboo joint, and taking one liberty from the O16 stone feels a bit more comfortable with how this goes. So I'm going to allow white to slide into my corner if he wants. And just say... it's not like I'm gonna die immediately. Now, I might end up having some troubles with ice space potentially. Okay. What's proper here? Now, the safety move would be trying to sort of connect everything up here in this central region, just sticking into the upper right quadrant. So let me see about analyzing the position. White's got a few points here. White's got more points on the top, and especially if white gets d18, then it's a nice contiguous piece of territory. White's got some space on the right side, and white's stones here will all be okay, but they won't get very many points. Black has big space on the bottom left. Let's suppose that white takes d18. Then black's territory is on the left side bottom, is sort of matching white's territory on the left side top. Then yeah, I'm quite certain black has this space, and these M3 and N4 stones, if they have Aji, it's not going to be enough to wreck the territory, just reduce it, is my feeling there. The only thing would be if L9 is for whatever reason not a forcing move, which I don't know if it's a forcing move. I'd have to... What would the situation be? Because if white tanukis, I take, and then I need to basically keep white from escaping while also establishing a base and or eyes. And I need to... And it doesn't necessarily have to be stop all the stones from escaping, but it could be if I could somehow fight my way into capturing a chunk. It wouldn't equal the whole chunk here. I'd still have to figure something out. Though if I did capture the whole chunk, it would probably be big enough. Though I'm not sure, because... So, however, I don't think it's implausible for me to establish two eyes. Let me... I think O18 and Q18 could be enough to... could stabilize me. But I really want R16. Da, da. But there's also the jump in. Something like R17, S17. Let's say R17. Suppose I descended. White R17. Poke. Here. Chat, I think R16 is more important because there's a bit of a limit to how far white can go in. Like, yeah, there's this P17, but I can... Now it's proper to descend first if it means that I can establish my space more cleanly. Are there any other nasty tricks white can play? Well, whatever. R16. I'm getting to the point where I should be quite mindful of my time. Yep, there's that. There's that. If I play S15, cover, go back, takes. Do I even have proper... Maybe S17 is okay, though. Well, my whole thing here has been sort of pivoting this, so we'll go for it and say that I think I can make something work. Oh, now the other thing, though, is that this spot actually makes this connection weaker because these stones could attack it more strongly. So it's a little bit... It's a little bit bothersome. I really want to play L11 for whatever reason. Well, I'm going to connect this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that looks like it makes sense. And I'm just going to play L11 and see what happens. I think it actually gets me in... It might... I think this could get me into trouble, but... That's what I'm playing. I don't specifically need to link these upper stones to these stones if naturally over the course of play they go in this way. Now, that's a bit of a big ask, I think, but... Now, another tricky thing, of course, would be if I get something over here connect up, but these stones get cut off and die. What kind of compensation can I get from that, if any? I'm feeling M12, though I don't know about that. It would be pretty, well, it is certainly one of the moves of all time. What the heck, why not? Oh. These two stones are not necessarily connected to these stones. Was I considering this kind of move for anything? I don't know, chat. I think I'm going to eat some granola bars I have, chat, and mute myself. All right, I'm done eating, chat. I was looking at possibilities down here. I think the biggest thing would be if I can threaten to get an eye here, particularly if it's a second eye. Or rather, I play here with the dual threat of an eye and attacking here. Which means I need to establish one eye first. So, now, this connection looks to me pretty shoddy. However, if I can threaten to cut these stones off, or this stone, there might be something there. I have less than 2 minutes left. I'm going to start with L14. Then I want H13 at some point. I want E14 at some point to try to threaten and cut these off. Okay, okay. I'll start by running these guys out. Okay. Okay, okay. Yep, yep. There's that. Let's see here. Oh, that's right. Even if white extends this way, this actually isn't a threat. So it's still a problem for black. I've got a minute. I need to read this out. Oh, I didn't notice. About 3 minutes ago, trying to threaten to cut something that can't be cut usually doesn't have much value. I, unfortunately, wasn't quite sure what thing was referring to. Oh yeah, this can't be cut. I see. Yep. I realized it after.
Ten, nine,
Move.
8, 7, 6, 5.
Right. Okay. All right. That's acceptable. Okay. That makes things interesting, doesn't it? Q3 feels the most solid. I'll play Q3. It's important to kill this, if I can. It's pretty important, chat. This kind of game? Mendokusai. Okay. Let me think. Now that's a problem. I don't have time to come up with a better solution. Which is pretty bad, all things considered. Okay. Yeah, that's like that. Okay. Here, I suppose. Okay. I'm a little clumpy here. And if white gets N10. But then I just sort of inch into this territory as such as I can. Alright. This has got to be ridiculous. Now I wonder if this would have... But this one has to be... There's no way, chat. There's no way. I'm gonna try A2. I think this gets spicy. Tombstone shape. Bad luck. But I might have enough stones to, Only problem is that white's gonna be pushing up like that. And I don't know if I can actually cut them off. Yeah, yeah. Huh.
10,
Yeah, this looks like it turns into, I don't know if it's a local collapse exactly, but oh, and it actually could be because um yeah, J2, and I've got nothing. Do I have anything? I don't know that I have anything. And in any case, white lives. So I was unsuccessful, chat. Um, A2 didn't work.
9,
All I have is, well, these stones got out. Okay, whatever. That wasn't the point. Must connect. Hmm, hmm. That's a little yabbit. It lets white threaten this. White just prepared this cut, or this peep rather. White prepared the peep, and now I can't get in here. However, despite it all, it's not a, well, yeah, it is a collapse for black because I wanted this as black territory. And I didn't play it right. And now it's white territory. Where does that actually leave me? Nowhere good. Okay. No, the ko would be too light for white. Just connecting's better. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot I don't have two eyes. Yeah, I actually forgot that this group was dead, so. Is there anything? Um, it's only half an eye anyways. So no, there's nothing. Okay. This looks like a sequence that ends in gote.
Ten, 9, 8.
Just to make a move. Ah, yes. Hold on. Was this one gonna work? Oh.
10, 9.
I think that
8,
one was working actually.
7, 6, 5. 10, 9, 8, 7.
I'd like to ask
Undo
to undo
requested.
that.
Undo granted. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. White wins.
Well, it's fine though. Okay, chat, we're going to have a little break. Let me, Okay. Going to
Very good.
review. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back, chat.
Okay. Yeah. So usually you don't want to play this move because, for instance, if you play something like this, then you do have the cut here with which you can make the move
Ah.
low. So although you don't always have to do that immediately, so in the game you would still be using that. So like say you, this is also a nice point to play. So say you play here and you play here, you can still do that
Ah.
because if I take it like this, then you're safe. And then you just do this.
Ah, I see.
So I'm still going to play here. So to play like this and then maybe play something like this would be a safe way to play.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Or you could do this. This also works because when I push through and cut here, you still get to play on top. So this would be okay too.
Oh, that is an interesting shape.
Sometimes 7 is the better move, especially after white has played it too. So yeah, so that's
Okay.
also something you could do. Yeah. Okay, so you curled around and played here. Yeah. And yeah, so in this variation, this is actually the modern joseki for white. When we used to play, so we used to, let's start from here. We used to play like this and like this, right? There was a joseki that was like this, and then you
Okay.
would play a hane here. But the modern joseki is to play the tari like I did in the game. Okay, so here, you're okay up to this point, only you should play one atari, and then you have a ko. So you don't really have very much to lose in this ko. So you can just play 2 moves wherever. And here you would start playing real ko threats. So if you win this ko, it's a big deal because white's group is not alive. So you get to attack it. Well, whatever you play. I don't know. Maybe here. So this would be bad for white. And so white has to make some kind of a trade. But even if it's like this, then you've only lost a few points in the corner. It's much better in the center.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So apart from that, there was nothing wrong with what you played. But in this variation, white's alive and your group is not. So
Mm-hmm.
it's starting. Yeah, that was good. It was good that you played away there. I was probably careless in playing that Atari at E19. Okay, yeah. Another way to play would be to play here. This would be a strong move.
Ah.
You're sort of looking at a double peep here. So it does get, so white will probably do something like this. But you do have, you sort of have good shape here. And you've created a forcing move here, so it's really easy for you to connect underneath too.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the weakness in the move you played. So that's the weak point of this move, is that it's not completely connected yet.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's reasonable. Okay, so yeah, you do have a problem with your connection in the center.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably worthwhile to add a stone there. Just add a stone to connect in the center here.
Ah. And I
Overall,
forgot that even if white takes the S15 stone, black can still build
if you're
a
connected, you
little
have
bit of
eyes.
thickness in the corner.
Right, yeah, you have plenty of eyes if you're connected. So you should be able to make an eye say if you play a stone somewhere around here, you should be able to make an eye in the center. You
Hmm.
have one eye in the corner here, and you have a ko. You have a ko here, and also you have a kind of sometimes you have a forcing move here, which would start to make an eye. So you have various ways. You sort of have a potential eye here too. So you have various places where you can make eyes, and you do have one eye in the corner, so you should be okay.
Hmm.
So you were still ahead in territory because you have all this. You have these two big areas.
Right, and then I just lost them later, or lost
Right. Yeah.
part of
Well,
them at least.
I can maybe get a ko in one or the other, but I shouldn't have been able to live outright.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so you should still link up.
Oh,
You should still link up. Yes, you should still
I
link
was
up,
in
and you're
time
probably
trouble.
still okay. Yeah.
I was a bit fried by that point.
Hmm. You're not losing yet. Okay, so if you're linked up in the center, you have one eye in the corner, and this is a forcing move because you have a cut on the third line.
Yes,
So you have plenty of eyes.
I was looking at the forcing moves at Q15 and E14 at certain points, but
Mhm.
I didn't get them connected together to.
Right. Yeah, well, you should usually just think that if you connect up, you're probably going to be okay. Yeah,
Right.
but now you're going to, it looks like, almost looks like you're going to lose that group. Okay. So here, there was a lot of Aji here. Basically, this move, I think. But this is really tough. It's tough to calculate this one. So the idea is that if white plays, let's see. So if white plays here, you push through, and you have this here. So this is going to be trouble for white.
Yeah, I was trying to calculate a few things, but I didn't have enough time to calculate them out.
So here, the usual way to kill the white group is to play. One way to do it would be to play here
Mm.
and here, and I don't have enough room. So this way, you would just play here, and it's not going to be alive. So what white's doing with this is white's going to play here, and you're going to kill the group, and white's going to get a forcing move here. So that's maybe here, maybe here. So I'm going to get a forcing move because I'm threatening to link up next. So if I play here, I can link up underneath. So that's the way I was going to use it. And you can kill the whole corner if you just play something like this.
Okay.
So when this happens, you can play here. And in this case also, it's sort of difficult for me to live because if I play here, you can kill it.
I
If
think
I play,
I didn't think of Q6 one
right.
here because I'd like seen that pattern in pro games and tried it out, and it was in the wrong places and I executed it wrong, and so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't want to. I didn't think to try it again.
Right. Well, this time it works because you have supporting stones here.
Mm-mm.
Makes it possible for, so like when this happens, you can capture the cutting stone.
Mm.
So that's why it works in this case.
Yes, I see.
Yeah. Okay, so it's getting difficult for you now. And now that group in the top left is probably dead. Okay, here. Okay, so let's see. If you play here, I'm going to play here. And if you play an Atari, I'm going to sacrifice this stone. So if you play an Atari here, I'm going to sacrifice this stone. or if you play an Atari here, I'm going to sacrifice that stone. So there's something here. Actually there's probably something in the corner. So you played here, and I played here. So you can continue like this, and I can get a call. But then, so locally, this is probably the best result, and you could probably add a stone, something like this, and just allow me to live in the corner. So this would be better than the game. And it's actually not a bad move. Okay, so here, yeah, you should play an Atari. And if I connect, then I'm in trouble. Maybe this is going to be a call. This is going to be a call.
Ah.
Or maybe I'm going to play here. And you see, when it's an Atari, it doesn't work so well for me to sacrifice that stone when you put the Atari at 1. And in this game, I probably don't want to play a ko either, because you're very strong all over the place. So if I play like this, I'm going to survive. But I think this is okay for you too, because everything is connected. And when you do this, you're going to get some of my stones. And my group here in the center is not so strong. So you still have potential to attack this group in the center. For instance, with stuff.
I sort of eke out territory on the margins like that.
Right, yeah. And you have a forcing move here. So the corner,
Oh,
the
hey.
I live in the corner is painful. Yeah.
I've got a few chatters. Hello, chatters. I was a bit focused on the game screen. Jeff K says Soul of Departure is a familiar screen name. Well, could be. I don't know. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about after the game, where you could have played here and captured all of my stones there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I realized you were in time total. So that was the last comment, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So the key point here was in this Joseki variant, which is actually very popular now, where if you play the Atari once, and you just play the ko. So like that half eye you made in the corner, it's not as important as making a ko like this. It's not as valuable. And if you want, you can
the ko's not too heavy for black either.
Well, yeah, you're just losing about 5 points in the corner when this happens. So, so if something like this, if you get something like this, then it's a big profit.
He's Fantactic on OGS. Yeah, I think we're friends on OGS.
Yeah, so this was the key point in the game where you had an opportunity there.
Okay. Well, I think that's gonna be it for today then.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be posting my schedule pretty soon now. I've sort of decided it already. So do you want to know in advance, or will you wait for my posting?
I'll wait for you to post it.
Oh, great.
But yeah, thank you for the game, and
thank you.
I'll see you again later.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
All right, that was Michael Redmond chat. And yeah, we have played Fantactic. Okay, let me see about potentially finding someone to raid. So back to Twitch. Lily Hops is streaming. She's a VTuber I watch. Let's need to go to channel because my OBS chat extension is being a little bit of a bother. All right. That's it from me. And remember to keep studying.